acknowledge the following very important individuals before I proceed any further. Of course, Mayor Pro Tem Jim Diaz, you're always a constant presence in the Filipino community, leading many of our celebrations commemorating important Philippine national holidays. Thank you very much. Mr. Chito Manda. Of course, Techi Imperator. One of the leading lights of the Filipino American community here in Carson. Ms. Josie Rizal, the JPR our Mayor Pro Tem, our Mayor Lula, of course. Okay, I forget. Dynamic Mayor. Commissioner Fred Dosio, is here too. Commissioner Alex Peña, our very energetic MC, and of course our very new Commissioner of the City of Carson, Councilwoman Arlene Rojas, who I understand is also a good singer. I know that she referred repeatedly to my singing prowess, but today I'm not gonna sing.
Oh.
I'll reserve my next singing performance for next year to open the year early, to start the year early. You ready to sing with me, friend?
Yes.
No, not today. I'm avoiding the reputation that all I do now is to sing and not tell you to speak. Let's avoid that at any cost. Anyhow, thank you very much once again for inviting us here. With me today are our cultural officer, Ms. Dolores Salas, who will soon be leaving us, going back to the Philippines after more than 3 years of service in the Philippine Consulate General in Los Angeles. Would you please give Dolores a big round of applause? And also with the other members in the Philippine Consulate General, Mr. Edwin Toranza, President. Today because of the inclement weather, and I'd like first and foremost to thank everyone for braving the inclement weather just to be here, to be with all of us in celebrating the 125th anniversary of the martyrdom of Dr. Rizal. Well, mga kababayan, taon-taon we gather not just here in Carson but in many parts of the world to commemorate the martyrdom of Dr. Rizal. But I think the most important question that we have to ask ourselves is, why do we do it? What is the relevance of all the things that we're doing to commemorate not just today, but even the birth of Rizal every June? Right? Well, the theme of this year's celebration of the martyrdom of Dr. Rizal, in case you don't know it yet, is Rizal, Science, Truth, and Life. Mga kababayan, if we examine Rizal's life, short life, as he died at the young age of 32, it can be said to have been devoted to 3 major goals, dedicated to 3 important and very noble objectives. One is the pursuit of science, 2, pursuit of the truth, and 3, dedicating his life for our country, which is the ultimate sacrifice. The first goal is the pursuit of science. And what do we mean by that? We all know that by profession, Rizal was an ophthalmologist, right? And using his scientific knowledge, he removed the cataract from the eye of his mother. But he was also a general doctor. In other words, Rizal was not into superstitious beliefs. He refused it. He refused to adopt, which were then very prevalent in the Philippines, and use instant science to affect change, not just in his immediate family, but in the entire Philippine society at that time. Truth. We all know what Rizal did when he was in Europe. He wrote his 2 novels that ignited ignited the fire that eventually led to the Philippines gaining its independence in 1898. He exposed the abuses of the Spanish colonial government. He was exposing the truth, and in the end, he paid dearly for what he did. Life, we all know what happened to him. In the end, he was executed in Bagumbayan. But in exchange, what did we gain? The death of Dr. Rizal, his writings, his adherence to the truth, his exposure of the abuses of the Spanish colonial government, set off a series of events that would end in June 1898, that would give our country its long-cherished freedom. What do these things mean to us, modern-day Filipinos, Filipino Americans, and Filipinos in other parts of the world? Well, today the world is facing so many challenges, foremost of which is the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, societies the world over are also facing the proliferation of fake news. Because of social media, we don't know anymore which is the truth and which is fake news. In the face of all these challenges, what do we need to do? Well, we can all be like Dr. Rizal. We don't need to pay the ultimate sacrifice, just like what he did during his lifetime. We can use science too, and in fact, many of our kababayans here in America, especially those in the health service, in the health industry, have already used their scientific knowledge to help fight this scourge called the COVID-19 pandemic. And in fact, many of them have paid their lives just trying to defend our community, our fellow human beings against this COVID-19 pandemic. So this is what we can do. In our own simple ways, we can do a lot. Fighting for the truth, we can do that too. By helping expose what is fake news in the things that we read in media. Next year, the Philippines will be holding its next presidential elections. I'm sure that you will be reading a lot of news coming from so many sources. And it's incumbent upon you who are knowledgeable, who are educated, who are more enlightened, to help enlighten our fellow Filipinos back home. Enlighten our fellow Filipino Americans who will be able to vote here in America, so that they will be able to really see the truth. And if they see the truth, then they will be able to vote wisely. Because next year, it's not just necessary that you vote. It's not enough that you just exercise your right of suffrage. It is important that you vote wisely. And by that I mean you elect the right set of leaders that will lead our country for the next 6 years. Next year is going to be a pivotal moment in Philippine history. We have been suffering a lot because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And it is incumbent, not just upon whoever will be elected president, the next senators of the country, to lead the country to the right direction. It is incumbent upon all of us to help in this endeavor. And I think a good place to start to help in this endeavor is to recall, is to live the teachings, the ideals, the principles that were set by our national hero, Dr. Rizal. And today I think is a good day to start that, to remind ourselves that we, in our very own simple ways, whoever we are, wherever we are, we can actually do something to help our country, to help further improve our country, to help our fellow Filipinos by using whatever scientific knowledge we have, by using our education to help in seeking the truth, to help identify fake news, to fight pandemics, to fight disasters, both man-made and natural. So do not despair if in one of these days you will find yourself not being able to do major things
to help our country. It's not necessary to do those things. It is important only that you do your own civic duties as a Filipino, as a Filipino American, wherever you are.
We can all be Jose Rizals in our own simple ways, and let the becoming start today on the occasion of the 125th anniversary of the martyrdom of Dr. Jose Rizal. Maraming salamat. Good morning.